Hello everyone and welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution Claire's Sanctuary. As you can see, we are all ready with our Euoplocephalus, or however you pronounce it. She's here, she's beautiful, she has the sweetest little face. Sounds like a wee little rhinoceros.
Right. Now make sure our new friend is comfortable in her enclosure.
I did think ahead and think to make her a little friend. I presumed they would be a social species. I mean, does it say? Yeah, 2 to 6, so she is going to have enough of a social group to be happy. So she does need a bit more population. She is going to need some water in here. Well, over here, obviously, not so much over there. And I think that means I'm going to get rid of some trees as well. She doesn't look like they have a very big need for forest, so I think it's probably for the best to clear out some of this and replace it with that vibrant plant that is found in all the other enclosures. There we go. And we are also going to need to use our ACU helicopter to tranquilize them both and move them into their actual enclosure. Let's give them a bit of water in there as well. Just like a little lakey there. There we go. Sand in there. I just think the sand makes it makes the water look clearer. It looks more realistic, I think. I think it looks quite nice with that little bank, actually. So I'm gonna leave it like that. They're also going to need some food. So they're going to need the ground herbivore feeder, and I'll put that just here. Encourage them over there to move. And let's pick them up and put them over here. Mess with my mic real quick as well. I have to be really careful not to unplug it because I would just lose so much recording if I didn't notice that it was unplugged. Like sometimes when I move it, it just unplugs itself, which is annoying. Maybe I should like tape it there or something, I don't know. So there hasn't been any like real changes to the park. All I did was finish finding all the fossils and getting all the DNA to get them to 100% so I could get the right rating. And obviously I did one with the, I think it was the jungle skin. Yeah, like the green one came out first. And then there's the original skin, which is like this brown one. I think it's that way around anyway. We'll soon find out when I check. But either way, yeah, they both look different, which is very cute. I just got one with the basic rating because it would be the basic skin even because it was cheaper to make, and the only reason it's there is to be company for the other one. So wow, this is actually the first episode where we do something that's new to the DLC rather than look at that grass blowing in the wind, rather than the usual stuff. Last episode was a lot of me just kind of moving the camera around and probably making you all really dizzy. I have a really bad habit of when idly spinning the camera around, which probably doesn't feel great to you. Yeah, so the green one is the jungle skin, or the, I think is it the jungle? I'm sure it says somewhere. I can't remember where you have to look for it. There we go, skin jungle pattern, yep. So there they are. Let's get into my camera mode and try and have a little look. Oh, look at them. Let's try and get him for you. Oh, looky. He's so cute. Look at that. Oh, I love them. I love them so much. So I don't even know anything about this kind of dinosaur, to be honest. Like, I've never heard of it before this. To be fair, I don't know a lot about dinosaurs. I know like the really popular ones that appear everywhere, that are like in all the, all the media always. So your T-Rex, your Triceratops, your Spinosaurus, But I mean, I think I really like games with dinosaurs in them. I am really into learning. Ooh. I'm really into learning about them. So that's why I like this game so much. It does give me a lot of chance to learn about new dinosaurs, even if like the actual gameplay used to be not that good. Anyway, so it's time to learn about paleobotany, which gotta be honest, I researched nothing. I looked at nothing. I looked at no one else's videos. I know nothing about this whole paleobotany system, so it'll be fun to learn, I guess. So it's used to give dinosaur species a more rich and authentic diet, improving their lifespan and dinosaur rating. Research new types of plant and grow them in the greenhouse. Once a plant is fully grown, it can be stocked by a ranger team to any number of paleo feeders. Set each paleo feeder to stock the best plant combination for the dinosaurs in that enclosure. Each species has primary and secondary plant preferences, as well as plants that can be harmful to it. Okay.
We are going to provide our herbivores with some species of plants that were native to them during their first time on Earth. To do so, we need to start by building a greenhouse. Then, we research the plants and grow them. I hope you have a green thumb, because these plants will provide a more authentic diet for our herbivores. It's a branch of research called paleobotany, and it could possibly be the very breakthrough we've been looking for to best care for our animals.
Oh, so in addition to managing the lives of extinct creatures brought back from the dead, we're now gardeners too, right?
Okay. So, I mean, this makes complete sense. I'm not even talking like I'm confused about this. So basically, this is just like nutrition in real life. Giving animals plants that are best suited to them. Like, for example, in zoos with giraffes, they have to be careful about what kind of browse they give them, because some are harmful and some aren't close enough to what they would usually eat to be nutritionally complete for them, and sometimes you gotta give them like supplements and stuff. So that's interesting. So we have a little paleobotany need here on our herbivores. So it will, I guess it's according to the family, so that's quite interesting. So I presume if we housed Ankylosaurus species, like ankylosaurids together, they have a very similar paleobotany need. I'll have a look at my Ankylosaurus in a bit, maybe we'll move it in here to make things a bit easier. So we would put like horsetails with maybe secondary mosses or pawpaw, but we wouldn't put things like tree ferns or conifers or anything like that, because that would decrease this, and I presume that makes its lifespan shorter and its rating less. That's what I'm presuming. So if Ankylosaurus, let's research the horsetails first. Let's do as they say. So we have the greenhouse. I don't know where I'm gonna put it, but I'm sure we'll find it. I'm not that fussed on where it goes, and I can't afford it at the moment. So let's use this time to, where's my Ankylosaurus? And is your paleobotany the same? It is. It's exactly the same. So that gives you a lot of kind of incentive to house similar species together. So all sauropods are the same, so they eat tree ferns and not very much else. Well, that makes sense. They'd need browse, not ground plants or fruits. So you would make sure that their feeder was dispensing something that's good for them. I don't know, can you do a tall paleo feeder? Or does it have to be? Okay, it's only a ground paleo feeder, so I don't know if you can get, like, let's have a look in research. If you can get, like, the tall paleo feeder palms, plant bed. Yeah, there we go. You need a tall paleo feeder that you'd need to feed our sauropods with the right stuff. But that's quite useful, because even if something was harmful, if it's in the tall feeder, your small species like your Struthiomimus isn't going to be able to eat from it. So it doesn't look like they'd have a problem though. They like grass. Oh, I think I researched conifers instead of horsetails. Whoops! It's gonna make things take a bit longer. Conifers. Alright, we want horsetails. We want. I can't afford very much else. And it's really suddenly nighttime. Okay. That's really interesting. I really like that they added this. I think that's a really, really nice feature. I have a feeling because Frontier, obviously they worked on Planet Zoo as well, and what I read in that game, there's going to be a lot of stuff to do with researching diet and making sure the diet is adequate, like you've got perfect food and stuff like that. And I wonder if maybe developing that system inspired them to put it in Jurassic World Evolution as well, and I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, as a feature, I think it's really, really good. It adds, I think that's the kind of micromanagement that I want in a game about looking after animals. Because that was one of the things, that's something else that kind of bothered me about this game, is that the micromanagement on the guest level was like so detailed. But in terms of animals, it was just like, if they're in the right space, and they have the right number of trees, and they have a feeder, you're good. As long as there's not anything that's gonna fight them, you're good. And like, that's just not how, it's really complicated looking after animals, and especially dinosaurs. I can imagine how hard that would be if we were to try and do that. I mean, I can even imagine just bringing back like a woolly mammoths or something. They're just from a completely different time. They just wouldn't be able to eat the plants that we have available to us. It's just not the, I mean, in theory they could, but it wouldn't be like the same nutritional balance as what they had, which is why this whole paleo feeding thing, like increasing their lifespan, is such a good idea. Such a good idea. So, yeah, I'm really glad they put it in. I don't know if there's any similar system. I mean, there wouldn't be any similar system for carnivores, I guess. Because I guess the closest way you could get to doing that in carnivores would be to, like, have a specific kind of meat they ate. Like, the goat was just, like, the basic, and then you'd need to have, like, for example, a T-Rex, you'd need to... I don't know what a T-Rex would have naturally eaten. I know they have lots of depictions of them with Triceratops and stuff, but I don't know if they... I mean, they were pack hunters, so maybe. Or at least pair hunters. Whew. Alright, so we have the money to get a greenhouse now, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that. Where's somewhere that has electricity? Oh no. Or can I just about slip it in here? Can I... There we go. Can I just about slip it in and get some electricity from you? Perfect. So this is definitely something I would incorporate if I did, I mean when, when I do my own park. I'm gonna do a sandbox park, because it's just such a good idea. Such a good idea, and it's something to manage as well, because then you wouldn't be able to have species, even if they could live together prior to, like without using the paleo feeders, there are certain species you wouldn't be able to keep together while using those paleo feeders, because it would make them ill.
We can now grow plants native to these herbivores. They can eat as they did millions of years ago. Once grown, you'll need to distribute these plants to a paleobotany feeder.
Oh, it actually tells you what they're preferred by and harmful to. Okay. So I can already see what they're actually, you actually can feed them to, which is good. Poor mosses and horsetails. It would have to be for these guys. Because that is the 3 foods in their primary and secondary preferences. I wonder if, is there like a species that's particularly good at like a, you know, like a generalist that can eat most things? Oh, I mean, I guess I haven't rotten wood. I guess we wouldn't know yet. It's just, oh, it's just such a good idea. Such a good idea, I love it. I love it. I just love looking at sauropods. I really like in the update where they increased their volume, that you could hear them from much further away. I'm so glad they did that. You can hear them, their gentle coos, their gentle moos even. We got low usage. I'm still not sure if even every 20 minutes is too much. They really don't seem to get through it very quickly. And it's the same with the ground feeder. It had like very low usage last I checked. And the fact being, I just moved the Stegosaurus out, so... And eventually I will... I don't know if I should even keep the ground herbivore feeder. Alright, I'm gonna do like double, or more, slightly more than double the time. Yeah, once I have the paleo feeder, I don't know if I'd necessarily need to have it. I mean, okay, I did read one thing about this, is that they don't like preferentially go for food that is good for them. So that kind of feeds into what I was saying before about you can't mix species that eat things that are like harmful to each other, or at least you'd have to use something that was safe for them both. So for example, you wouldn't be able to have horsetails in an enclosure that had hadrosaurs in it. So if you had a parasaur and an ankylosaurus together, you wouldn't be able to feed horsetails. You'd have to find something they both could eat. Oh, so we're growing horsetails. Oh, I can't afford that either. It's always the money. So I suppose you'd have to upgrade it. You need like plant bed capacity upgrades, which makes sense. Fun. It's cute in there as well. Aww, a little greenhouse. Yeah, it's just keeping on top of that money because, like I've said before, I really don't understand how the whole gift shop and fast food things work. I really don't. I really don't. Well, that said, my facility rating's fine. It's just the food and drink ratings, though. I'm wondering if maybe deleting this. Go away. Get out. And putting another one closer to where all the enclosures are. Does that make a difference? I feel like it does. I think that makes a difference to your transport as well, because stuff is together. Maybe that'll improve the situation. Planting bed. Mosses. The amount of money we had. We had like $400 for a second there. Okay, so we now have horsetails, and we'll soon have mosses. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to fully get rid of this feeder, because from the looks of things you don't run out of stuff. Like, you grow it once and then you have it. That seems to be what the situation is, so... Oh, I can't afford it. I made a mistake, now I can't feed them. Okay. It should only take a minute though, because this is profit, like my profit... Yeah, the profit per minute, it should take 2 minutes. I don't think they're starving, I think they should be okay. They'll manage without a feeder for 2 seconds. Right. Yeah, so maybe I need to, like, do this? Oh, no, sorry. I didn't mean to charge that much money for it. 12? That'll do. I'm not too worried about how much money I'm making at the minute. I am worried, but you know what I mean. I'm not worried about how much the individual things are making, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Increasing the variety. I cannot do that unless I get a T-Rex. I need the baryonyx to get here. I've had no news about whether or not I get to have my baryonyx back. And I would like to have my baryonyx. Come on. Just a little more. Just a little bit more. Okay, I've got a feeder. So we need to set it up. So you choose mosses, confirm. And then we're gonna get our ranger station in here. It costs a lot to refill. Damn. How do I, can I modify feeder? Okay. So I still need Paw to complete the task. And to be honest, I still don't think I'm in any serious rush to refill the feeder right now. So let's wait for the money to do that. Should only take a second to wait for. Come on. Okay. So we'll get the paw going, and then we need to grow the paw, and then we can restock the feeder. I will make sure that no one in there is super hungry, because that being the case. No, it doesn't look like it. Hello. They are so cute though. I know I was complaining like this with like all the ankylosauruses are quite similar. I mean, I don't know, they are quite similar, and it's annoying that you have like a kind of limited range of dinosaur types. But when you actually look at the individual ones, they're cute anyway. They're all just sort of cute. I just remembered I gotta get another upgrade before I can actually do that, because I need the extra slot. Goodness. I need 200,000 for that. When does it end? I want my baryonyx. My baryonyx would very much help the situation. But I was actually curious about something. I don't know if... I think it was in here, it was in enclosures. Viewing attractions, there's a new viewing attraction. Yeah, you've got the Jurassic tour. That's quite exciting. I hope that gets me in Sandbox as well. I mean, I presume it would. That would be quite fun to have like a safari tour that you could take your guests on. I always love a little safari tour in my zoos when I can build one. Like in Zoo Tycoon 2, I like having jeep tours. I think they're quite fun to design. Goodness me. It's just a waiting game to have enough money to do stuff at the moment. Which I know is quite boring. I can't afford to do anything else. I'm sorry guys, I promise you'll have food soon. I'm still not super hungry. I don't think they get hungry enough to even warrant it, like, dispensing very often. So I'm gonna look at the Ankylosaurus for a second. I mean, yeah, they do look pretty different, I guess. Like, the Ankylosaurus is like these prominent sloping spikes across its side. And they're quite, like, elongated, whereas, the the Euoplocephalus has like these very upwards pointing, very short spikes over its body. The head shape is very different as well. It has like a flatter face, and, like flatter at the front, like it's been squashed. The tail is quite different. Like that's got like a, like they've obviously both got the clubbed tail, but the Ankylosaurus is like bigger and rounder. And obviously their social need is very different. You're looking at Ankylosauruses being quite happy as by themselves. They have a very low population need. They get quite stressed in large enclosures. I think that, yeah, their social group's very small. Like ideal population 0 to 8. So like 8 dinosaurs maximum in the same enclosures as them, with a maximum like 4 of those being members of their social group. I don't know about, I think they're probably quite similar in terms of being a small family social group, but it's just like bigger. They live in fairly small social groups, large for an ankylosaurid, and will tolerate a small number of other species in their enclosure. Yeah, so they appreciate a 2 to 6, so slightly bigger groups, and they're a bit more tolerant of other species around them, and they don't like being alone, so yeah, they are different in many ways, but I don't know, it's still just kind of irritating. Like, look at that, it's just just so similar. I don't mind, I'd just rather have like some other categories of dinosaur as well. Like especially in terms of like smaller dinosaurs or marine reptiles. They're not dinosaurs, but I think we all know how the general Jurassic World evolution community feels about the lack of... Yeah, this can increase. About the lack of there we go, marine reptiles, especially considering that the Mosasaurus was in the movie. But I can also very much appreciate why they're not in it. I mean, that would be like a lot of hard work to include. Ooh, wrong thing. And you gotta model it as well, and their behaviour would be very different. You'd really have to take into account how they would swim, how they would interact with the water, stuff like that, how you'd feed them. Like how you'd make a tank enclosure, like would you have to use the ocean, like would you have to section off a part of the ocean, would you have to place water, how would people view them? I think it's a lot to think about, and the game just like wasn't meant to be that sophisticated. Like it was meant to be a tie-in for the movie, and that was like it. And to be honest, as a movie tie-in game, it's already quite good, so I don't know. We complain, but we don't complain too much. We're selective in our complaints. So I just need that paw to finish growing, and then we'll be there. Obviously you'd need to have like multiple feeders or greenhouses. You could get away with like 2 greenhouses from the look of it to be able to grow everything, so that's not too bad. It's pretty simple, I guess. We're almost there. Almost ready to go. Feeding our little guys. Still growing. Ready. Okay, there we go. Confirm selection, and now we can get our ranger team. Ranger station, ranger team at task, and they can go in there and resupply our feeder, and then we are all good to go. Whew. Dun, 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 dun. I have got a gate in here, right? It just really struck me that maybe I don't have a gate. I don't think I do. Oopsie! Right, let's set that in. Let's quickly give you a gate so you can actually get in. You alright, guys? Guys? Good? There they go. Oof. I haven't unlocked very many of the skins. I'm pretty aware that you get these through like achievements and stuff. So let's whiz over there and see how that's going. So he's gonna drive all the way around at top high speed to our feeder. Gonna throw in those snacks.
Now we have the plants. We need to find the correct nutritional balance for each dinosaur. If we get it right, the results should speak for themselves.
My second wife was big into the whole healthy lifestyle thing. Always getting me to eat some green food or other, which was usually disgusting. And needless to say, our marriage didn't last long. The moral of my tale? Give the dinosaurs what they like to eat. Simple.
I wonder if this is like unique for everything you put in it. I wouldn't have thought so, but it does kind of look like there's the stuff that we put in there. But it just looks like there's additional stuff as well, is all. It may just be like a set thing. So basically, I'm assuming what happens here now is your Euoplocephalus, that when it gets hungry, it will go over to the feeder, like to our paleo feeder, and when it eats the food, depending on the number of the preferences we put in there, its satisfaction level will go up. So maybe like horsetails by itself boosts it by 2, and then second preferences boost it by like half, maybe, is what I'm thinking. Because if they all boost it by 1, there's like no reason to distinguish between the primary and secondary preferences. And someone's got a disease. It's alright, the Ankylosaurus is heading over to give it a go, so let's quickly nip that disease in the bud.
Adding to the list.
It looks like the feeder needs filling as well over there. So I wanna whiz over. So the Ankylosaurus is having a little nibble there. So that'll give us a pretty good indication of how it's going to affect our Euoplocephalus as well. So we look at that. Yes, they got a full satisfaction from paleobotany. And now I wonder if, yeah, I'm wondering if the horsetails maybe brings it from like middle there to there, and then 1 each. I don't know. But either way, so it's boosted the rating by 40%. And it's boosted the lifespan by 40% as well, so that's pretty cool. I think it's looking like, yeah, the Euoplocephalus have come over here to start eating as well. You're running. You're so hungry! So someone's feeling a bit peckish. It's gonna run over here. Let's get a good look at you guys. Woo! Eating from your new paleo feeder. Oh, look at you! So I guess... yeah, there we go. We've got our new fossil access to a new dinosaur. And I think that's probably it for this episode.
The dinosaur seems to have taken to her new menu. This opens up so many new possibilities. One in particular, a new dinosaur, another herbivore, an Ouranosaurus. Research and incubate this animal. She'll love these plants.
Okay, so that's what we do next time. We will look into getting the Ouranosaurus. We'll probably build its enclosure here. Or maybe... or I'm wondering if maybe the Ouranosaurus should go in here with the Brachiosaurus. we'll see how it goes with the Struthiomimus's diet and stuff. We'll look into it and see how it goes. But I will see you guys for that next time. Bye bye.